So before I start today's video, I first like to state this for the record. This is not a diss, not a clap back. I'm not disrespecting this individual that commented on a video that I did yesterday. I'm just replying to the comment. And shout out to you, Andy. Shout out to you, Andy, all right, for commenting, all right? So basically, yesterday's video, I was talking about the trade scenario that involves the Miami Heat and the San Antonio Spurs, and DeRozan, how he's going to fit on the Miami Heat roster. Now, in the first 40 seconds of yesterday's video, I talked about how ultimately, when you look at this trade, I just don't see how this trade is going to be very beneficial to either ball club unless they do X, Y, and Z after this trade. And then we can look back and see how important this trade was, how valuable DeMar DeRozan was in this trade if he's going to the Miami Heat. And this is a trade scenario, a trade possibility, okay? This is not a factual thing, all right? So, Andy, shout out to you, Andy, commented that, and also said, before I get into his comment, I also stated about DeRozan being an inconsistent player on the offensive end. When the lights are brightest, when you need him the most, he shrinks, okay? Never talked about his dominant three-point game. I don't think he has a dominant three-point game, in my opinion, okay? But, and I also said that he didn't mind playing defense, all right? So, Andy, shout out to you, Andy, said, he commented, since when does DeRozan play defense? LOL. That's the reason why Toronto did not like him and the lack of a three-point game, all right? Which I already stated in the first few minutes of that video yesterday, all right? So when you look at trades, you got to look at why would that ball club trade for that player. And if this is a honest trade, and this is what Pat Riley is looking at, he's obviously looking at the finals that they lost with the LA Lakers. And it's easy to sit up there and say the reason why the Heat lost to the Lakers was LeBron and AD and LeBron. We can, a novice can just say that. But if you look in between the lines, obviously the reason why they lost that series is they couldn't make the Lakers defense defend them honestly, because the Heat could not spread the floor, all right? They didn't have the players, the resources to spread the floor and make the Lakers play them honestly. Okay, they basically just trapped Jimmy Buckets, and that's it. Yes, they had other players that contribute to their offense, but how many of those moments are you going to say was momentum moments that got them to win the series? Obviously, they didn't win the series, all right? So when you look at DeRozan, having him on the floor on the offensive end, even though he's an inconsistent player, like I stated yesterday and today, you still have to defend them honestly. You just can't leave DeRozan all alone on an island, all right? Now, he may be inconsistent, but if that's going to be like barbecue chicken to him, if you don't have a man in front of him, all right? I feel like the reason why DeRozan shrink when the lights are brightest, I feel like it's more of a mental factor with him than an ability factor, okay? And I said I never mentioned, and I never said it in yesterday's video, that he was this defensive dynamo. He was this defensive stopper. He was a LeBron James stopper, okay? He was all defense. I just said he didn't mind playing defense. And when you look at what Pat Riley has done as far as drafting players to the Heat roster, as far as trading players to the Heat roster, the one caveat, the one ingredient that you have to play for Pat Riley and the Miami Heat organization, you have to have a willingness to play team defense. There's no substitutions. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's not even a debate. It's not even an argument to Pat Riley. You either play defense or you're not playing for the Miami Heat. It's just that simple, all right? Now, when you talk about trades, you can't, when two ball clubs are trading, They're not trading one great player for another great player. Or you're trading, you want a great player like a Kevin Durant, and you're willing to give them parts that you don't want. All right. When you talk about trades, it's okay. This guy is not working for my ball club. How can I flip this guy to another organization that may be interested in this guy? And what do they have that can possibly benefit my roster? Okay. There's a reason why Kevin Durant will never be traded. Kyrie Irving, LeBron James. When you talk about players, and I'm not sitting up here and saying that DeRozan is on that tier of players I just mentioned, but there's a reason why good, solid players will never be traded. Never. When you talk about Klay Thompson, when you talk about Steph Curry, there's a reason why those players will never be traded. Now, when they're out of their prime, then you will have a debate then. But in their prime, no. These players will never be traded for parts that didn't work out for you and your organization. So you want me to take your leftovers, and I'm willing to give you my main entree, which is a Steph Curry, that benefits me in my roster, okay? No, that's not how trades work. The majority of all trades are parts that doesn't work out for you. You're trading your parts for another organization parts that didn't work out for them. That's how trades work. So when you look at these trades, you look beyond the trade and see how, this trade is going to fit and how this trade is going to work for the ball club, which is the Miami Heat. And yes, I think DeRozan can be a piece, but obviously they're going to have to add more pieces. DeRozan isn't enough. Okay, you're going to have to add more pieces, particularly on the offensive end. And while you bolstering that offensive end, you also, these players who's going to help you and contribute on the offensive end, they have to have the willingness to play defense. All right, that's the only reason why I mentioned it. All right, so a shout out to you, Andy. I'm not, I'm not spitting fire at him. I'm not dissing him. I'm not disrespecting him. This is not no capping or clap back or anything like that. It's just, instead of just commenting, I just felt like there was not enough characters there to just simply just say all this and make it a long-winded message where you have to read it. I'd rather just do a video and just tell you. I don't know if I touched on it on this video, but Toronto, the reason why they let go of DeRozan is not the fact that his unwillingness that he didn't want to play defense. It's just he was not reliable. He was very inconsistent on the offensive end. All right. And that's why he's been bouncing around. Okay. So, yeah, when you look at these trades, you got to look beyond the trade and see how this piece fits to this ball club and how beneficial it is. Okay. And like I said in yesterday's video, I just don't see how this trade is going to benefit either ball club, San Antonio Spurs or the Miami Heat, unless the Miami Heat is going to add more than DeRozan. And if the San Antonio Spurs flip Iggy, and I forgot the other player's name, Olenek, I believe. If they flip those pieces to other ball clubs for draft picks, then yeah, I can see how that's going to be very beneficial for the San Antonio Spurs. All right. But nah, fam. Nah. But anyway, that's all I got. I'll holler at you guys later.